Hello, my name is Bianco. In this video we will have a look at a Smith & Wesson M&P M7 bayonet. Basically their approach, their version of a US military M7 bayonet. The main difference is that this one is made in China. The stainless steel is not listed what they used, but it is a stainless steel with a rather shiny finish. So this item was never in a military adopted. It's basically a civilian bayonet. So usually all the M7s that I saw were made from carbon steel, so they would rust, parkerized finish and all that good stuff, but this one is a complete different approach. So Smoky Knife Works has that item, as I just checked, still on sale, and I wanted to test that out, try it out, see how well it is. And yeah, it's a bit a mixed bag. I would say the building quality is pretty good. After all, it's a bayonet. You quite likely not gonna stab around every day with it, but it feels sturdy and solid. The sheet is also made in a pretty good way. So yeah, it's not everything lost. Some people complain about it, but I would say it's not everything lost. So the item comes in a big box. We have there some information, there some more, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Some clear plastic where the thing is covered up. Then the size is full size, 1:1. It also fits directly on the R15 M16, as we can see it here. So that all works. It looks good. It doesn't have too much of a wiggle, so it should be working pretty well. I'll take that off again. The ring is well made. The handguard looks sturdy. The locking part pretty good too. Of course, both sides are spring loaded. Now there is no screw. You cannot take that off. That is directly mounted on the tang. I took the screws off. It's just screws on both sides with a bottle spacer in it, so it needs Loctite. There was no Loctite on it. The scales are relative good knurled, so that should not be too slippery either. So it needs Loctite. The blade itself is ground pretty well. It has a slight hollow grind on the top edge too. We see the grinding lines are not too even, especially here in front. On the other side it's a bit on the opposite side. Here it's a bit on the top side. So anyway, that is for stabbing. The top part looks like it's sharp. It isn't, but be careful, your one may be. The other side is pretty sharp, but of course it can always be sharpened a bit more. The sheet is a typical M7, the old style M7 sheet, not a fiberglass but a plastic polymer, the same style of a frog riveted on the metal. We have the typical hanger if you want that. You can also use that part here as a belt loop if you have a belt that fit through here, or you can fix something else. We have a snap, as usual, typical design. We see here also it's shiny. The whole thing is shiny. So that's I would say for practical application the main drawback. The thing is way too shiny. The finish is way too shiny. I mean, on the blade it's one thing, but after this video I'm gonna rework it. The handle needs to be securely glued on and then the screws Loctited on that the thing is completely secured. Then it needs to get a bit a different finish, more matte. Doesn't matter is it green or is it black or tan for that matter. It just is too shiny. All in all, especially the sheet, that is amazing. So that's gonna come. The nickel parts here too. Quite likely the strap needs to be a bit glued and sawed on that would not wiggle around. By the way, the bayonet goes in as usual, but we have a bit of rattle. That is pretty much as in the past as well. That is how that is. But it has a spring in it that touches the blade, but so it won't fall out, but it of course still can rattle on the thing. So yeah, is it worth it? Now for the collector, quite likely not. If you collect, you would like to have the original, and there are still plenty around of the original ones, so no problem to get that if it's legal in your area. This is a new made version. The on sale price was $18. No, actually I have to correct me, it's $14.99. That was the correct price on sale. Usually it's about 20-25-ish dollar. What I see online here in USA. In your location that may be different, but yeah, I would say for somebody that wanted to test it out, that want to have a bayonet, that quite likely not gonna go and mount it on the rifle and stab objects every day, that is pretty good. Especially if you wanna just put it on the wall or something like that, and it also gives you a start. So for that little money you have a start, you can try it out, you see how it is and all that. You can alter it with paint. By original I would not change too much because that has a certain value, and usually original bayonet M7 version in USA is quite likely from $50, $60, $70 upwards. So I would say for that price of $14, $15, that is really worth it. Another thing is, if you live in a environment like me, basically in a wet jungle situation, then a stainless steel blade is probably a good option for you, so that you don't have to worry too much about that the whole item gonna rust or get damaged or something like that. So yeah, I would say it's worth it for that price. I would not have paid $25 or more for it, but for $14, $15, that was sure worth it. So that much about the Smith & Wesson M&P Military and Police M7 bayonet.